Getting this to the group right now. Something else. Wait a second, see if anybody wants to come in. If not, it's going to be recorded. It is Sunday afternoon. Don't forget to like and subscribe and smash that like button. Blah, 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 blah. Can you hear me? That's the question. Can you hear me? That's the question. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? That's the question. Okay. Tested. That's weird. My desktop audio bar is not flashing when I talk. Turn on some music. Music that I can't hear, but you all can. Okay. Too many windows open. Here we go. To start this backtesting, I'm backtesting the new day opening gap and the first presented fair value gap after open. So to make this easy and define the gaps easy, I jumped right to, I'm going to go July, all of July. Change it from regular electronic trading hours, which are just the futures hours, which is every hour except between 5 and 6 p.m. at night. Regular trading hours are just the regular trading hours, 9:30 to close. What we're concerned about is that this gap here that started, this is actually new month, new week opening gap too, so it's pretty big. We were just concerned about that opening gap from where it closed the night before and opened the day after. So let's make everything simple so everyone can see it. A lot of the stuff I normally would just look at and mark it out, but since people will be watching this, I will new day opening gap. Here's your gap. The idea behind this is that after first presented fair value gap, it'll go back into at least 50% of that gap. And it's a quick scalp after open. And I already did this one, and then I was like, hey, might as well film it. So I know the outcome of this one already, but let's go over it. First fair value gap is right there. It's a little tiny one. I don't even like how tiny that is, but as you see, we probably have some AMD, right? We have accumulation through here for the first few minutes, takes out the liquidity, and starts to go back up. So what you'd want to do is, once this fair value gap is presented, you want to try to get in on the first tap. Even the second tap is fine. Thinking that it's going to go to at least 50%. This one actually worked perfect, right? So this was a winner. This would have been a nice winner right off the bat. There's a few different ways you can take it. ICT says you can do it off of the first. You can put your stop loss at the bottom of the candle that made the fair value gap, right? So there we have at the bottom of that fair value gap. If you want to be super safe, the swing low here. But as you see, that it will reduce your R to like 1.1. I want 1.6, I mean. Keep it tighter. This is actually a really, really good one because this is like 40 ticks. That's perfect. So we have a winner right off the bat. Hit that fair value gap here. Tagged you in. Went up here. Let's hold it, hold it, hold it. All these wicks look real scary though, right? That's just a mental thing. So this is a winner. I'm keeping a spreadsheet of this. So after I do this, after I mark this out, I'm gonna go to my spreadsheet and um, I'll share that spreadsheet with the group. What the heck? Okay, here we go. So did it work? Yes. What was the stop loss? 40 ticks. Stop loss was 40. Take profit was I think like 120, 123. That was a really good trade. And then also on my spreadsheet, I have what is max, and this was about max, right? It got rejected hard. I'm going to go over this one because this one's fun to go over. Because it used that fair value gap several times. So that was the max, and that was 123. ICT says you can play this fair value gap for the rest of the day. I just want to play it for that one move. So you see, it did play off this fair value gap all the way over here. Thing to know about these new day opening gap, right? If it's going to continue, it's going to blast through it. If it stops short here, expect a downtrend because it didn't want to take all of those orders yet. It's just like any other fair value gap. If it doesn't burst through the fair value gap, then most likely it's going to come down. Even though it closed above 50%, it didn't close strong, right? It got rejected up here and it did start to trend downward after that. So this one's like a textbook. This is textbook. You could have got in at any of these wicks a little bit, right? But like I said, sometimes that's not safe enough of a stop loss, but your swing low is. And in this case, the second time the swing low was the better option. Got a little more RR, but realistically, you're probably wanting your stop loss up here and trailing it down to the swing low. That's not really swing low, is it? This would be the swing low. No real swing low in there, is there? You'd want to trail it though. I wouldn't trust that until you see that confirmation above. So that one did work. That was nice. Okay, let's delete all this and go to the next one. Um, Second. I did skip to this one too. The second one is really, really tricky here. Put this gap here. Never really came back for it with a fair value gap. So the next fair value gap is up here, right? So this you get this action here, right? It came out down through it, it worked over that gap. So you're thinking that it will at least shoot for this off of that fair value gap. And it, as you see, it kind of sucks that way where you can see what happened already. But I mean, off the new day opening gap, but the first presented one is right here, right? Might be a tiny ass one there. Do you trust that one though? I want to say no, there wasn't really a good trade for this one. There are definitely trades though. You can play off this fair value gap here. Always do that. I'm gonna get in right at the fair value gap. Below. What are you aiming for here, maybe? There are some more to aim for. You can aim for this one, this one. Oh, that didn't make a line. So let's say this one here. That gives us the RR that we're looking for. But really, that's looks like a big risk through here. 77 ticks. I mean, it works. I'm not going to count this as a working one though. I don't like it. It's not as clean. Never tap back into this. That means we're just going. We're just going for the day. Never tap back into the fair value gap. So maybe I would might have played this. I got a good I got 2.61 R. It's a little tricky one. Let's chalk that up to a yes. Yes, it did. The more I look at it, the better it looks. 77 stop loss. 201. 201. Max is like freaking forever. I just kept on going. I wouldn't even say that would be my terminus right there. And that's 281. Backtesting can be boring. If you have any questions, just hop them in. I want to make sure I delete everything. On to the third. I may not go through all of these. Huge, huge gap that barely gets traded into. It doesn't get traded into, does it? Maybe a little. Maybe by a tick. Crazy. Okay, now we got to find the first presented fair value gap. This one failed. I failed hard. You're gonna get failed, boom, right off the bat. So what is this a loser for? This one, this one you might be able to turn back around and go, okay, we're not, we're, can't, look at this though. This like is perfect. Fill this in, but this did fail, so I'm gonna put a fail. But like your trader instincts have to kick in at some point too, right? This created a freaking nice little order block here and just took off. I would be looking for upside on the, I would be looking for upside, not even downside on this. There might be a tiny. What's been happening in the summer here is he's been leaving these tiny, tiny fair value gaps too, and just I don't even want to take those tiny ass ones. But this one did fail. This one would have been a short position. Would have put it right here. Stop loss. See, this is what makes it difficult is you have that fair value gap there. Say like a 55 stop loss. Take profit would have been all the way down here. That would have been a good risk reward. Yeah, it would have been five. Would have been a five. There's also ICT says if there's a gigantic gap like this, the likelihood is that it's actually going to continue, and this one did. So it all depends on how you're looking at this one, if it failed or not. Um, if you're looking for a long, it worked. If you're looking for a short, it didn't. I would probably be looking for a long since it rejected here, and this has a huge gap. And ICT says if these gaps usually get left behind, and this one did. I'm just gonna say no trade because it's kind of I'm indecisive about it. Fair value gap here. He would have been stopped out though. He would have caught you. Unless you want a big ass. What makes back testing hard on Ninja Trader, I mean on TradingView, is that like if I switch in between 15 and 1 minute, it will take me all the way back to friggin' the beginning. See, now I'm all the way back at the beginning. So then you have to click this, go back to the third. Let's go. That way we can get a better look at what's going on. Yeah, that just took off. I think that might have been an all-time high at the point. I'm gonna say no trade on that one. And I'm gonna put in the notes, could see both ways. So no trade. Okay, let's go to the fourth. Go back to the one. Oh, this looks like a fun shop ass one. We're always looking for it to go back into the gap. But this one's another big one. 45. It's like, yeah, it's like 75 points. That's a big gap. So then we're big gap, we're looking for it to continue down. First gap. And stopped out before we went in. So looking for a down. Keep doing that. No matter which way it cut it, it got stopped out, right? What day am I on? I'm on the fourth. Yeah, just getting stopped out on this. What it did, I went to this one, filled the gap from the day before. Gotta take everything in its entirety. You want to say failed. It's gonna go back to this gap here, 50%, right? That might have been no trade. That's not enough. There's not a target that gives you good risk reward. You can try to go all the way down there. Stuck in between two gaps. Finally did go down, but look at that. It would have been stopped out. This went right into chop. Put no trade on this one. Stuck between two gaps. I definitely was looking for this one, huh? Never. Oh yeah, this one that never came back for me. I saw it once and rejected off that. I wanted down. And I missed it. Goes from trades not taken. Okay, fifth. See if this court's saying anything here. I put it in the wrong. Might have put it in the wrong group. Hold on. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, I put it in the wrong group. Whoops. I put it in the wrong section of the group. Must have. Yep. I don't even know where I put it. Anyway, maybe that's in the group now. That's 7th. Another big one here, huh? See, it's making really tiny fair value gaps. And I don't take those tiny ones. It's not explosive enough. It doesn't give me conviction. This one here was a much better one. So where are you looking to go on that? Really was laggy today. I want to say it failed on this one because I would have thought this would have kept on coming down, although it never tapped in. So that's looking really good there. So cleared out that liquidity. Take that top liquidity out though. Aim to take all this liquidity. 1 to 2 hour. Sure. I'm gonna call this a fail. 67 stop loss. Yeah. Take profit would have been 129. Okay. Go to 8th. Like these moves during the overnight were gigantic, huh? Again, chop, 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 chop. There's no trade in here. First presented this year. First presented is right here. But you've already traded to 50% of it, right? By the time. So no trade. Already got to 50%. No trade on this one. What day is this? The 8th. I gotta mess up my charts here. 5. Okay, 9. Look at these gaps. They're just running away. I did mark out that one. No trade on this one either. There's just nothing. You don't want to be in any of this. I think we're near all-time high again, being a jerk off. So 9, no trade. 10. Little baby gap. No trade again today. This was all-time high again, right? This all-time highs, all-time highs. No trade on the 10th. 11th. Cancel, I don't believe this. Yeah, we're looking for this gap to be filled, right? So unless you're looking for this to get inversed, which it does and never comes back, so no trade. No trade off the gap anyway. The summer sucked, huh? 11, no trade. This is a lot of no trades. Way more than in the last time I did this, which was wintertime. 12. No gap. So 12, no trade, because there's no gap. We open right here. There's no gap. No opening gap. That's fun. So 12, no trade. Crazy amount of no trades. Let's see, I was trying to play this inverse a bit. Really didn't give any. I'll just freaking chop right after these moves. It's just going into chop lately, or just grinding in the direction. 14. Oh, the 12th was a Saturday. No wonder that. Okay, so that's what messed up. The 14th was no trade. Okay, 14th, 15th. Like if it's leaving gaps this big, I'm more leaning towards don't take it, right? I already came almost back to 50% here. No gaps whatsoever. Oops, didn't mean to drag that. No gaps whatsoever. And just grind, grind, grind all the way here. This is what's been frustrating about July for fair value gap traders like myself. Just grinding, grinding, grinding. I'm probably gonna tell the group not to even watch this because this is no trade again. Um, on the 15th, no trade. This is usually a very dependable, very, very dependable trading strategy. Very dependable. Look at this, like, there's a tiny gap there. I'll just mark it out again so everyone can see it. I just ran through this. Once it runs through it, look for lower. What would lower be? I didn't leave any gaps here. I left the gap here. But look how tiny these freaking gaps are. No, I'm calling this a no trade, but I'm just going further into the action. Look at that. That's a freaking huge stop. Oh, maybe it's not a huge stop. Dangerous stop, though. What date am I on? The 16th. So I would be looking lower on this. All the way here. It gets there too, doesn't it? Oh, look how long you'd have to wait, though. That would have been a hell of a trade. Would have been wiped out. This for value up here you could have been aiming for. It started trailing it from there. Yeah, that might have been the play. Top of that fair value gap. Would have gave it to you. Right into that other gap there. I'm gonna say yes because we're playing this opening day gap here. We're playing that it got taken and we're looking for lower. Got taken with no gaps. So we're looking for lower after that. Liquidity sweep, especially coming off of all-time highs. And that's almost a 1 to 2. 63 for 113. Gaps never coming back. This is a tricky one. Probably wouldn't have taken this one at all. You get the gap here, but your gap is already taken out 50%. So this might be a no trade. You might, well, after it sweeps this and starts and makes that, leaves that fair value gap. I still only got tagged in because it never came back. So this is a no trade. I think he has been making this pattern a lot. It's been faking out a lot of the breakout traders. This is looking like like a bear flag here, right? Or some kind of flag here. It's been sweeping, consolidating, and back up again. It's like making two Judases. It's been doing that a lot lately. But this is no trade on the 17th. This is really an abnormal amount of no trades off this play. 18th, which is Friday. Like, look at this fucking jump. These opens have been jumped. There's the first gap. Maybe right there. And then this is the gap you want to get in. And this was a Trump tweet. That was a Trump tweet. I remember this one. I'm like, holy shit, I wasn't in it. But I remember this one. Trump tweet or some kind of news, right? So you're like, you'd have to put it above. That's why I like more or less putting it above the swing high or the swing low. That stop loss because this will happen too often where you get in, you put it above that candle, you get taken out. You're not liquidity. I think too many people people might be starting to trade ICT, so there's actually a lot of stops right above this candle now, right? Because everyone's putting their freaking stop above that candle when it should be the swing. And what date is it? We're on 18th, 15th, 18. Where would you be looking for that fair value gap as a target? Below, top of it. They've made some changes to TradingView, which I really am not liking the changes at all. Because even that's dangerous because you got that swing over here. And that's 100 ticks. That's 100 to get 223. Yeah, because you have that up there too. But if it's, but that definitely shouldn't be taken at all. This is the one that really, if this gets taken, it's probably going to take that anyway. So this would be a good stop. But still 100 tick. I'd have to downsize. I'd have to go to micros, top of this fair value gap. We're going 100 for 100 stop loss. I'm going to say this is no trade anyways because who's going to, I'm not going to play that. It's a no trade. But there is a trade in there. It's just not the right one that we are looking at right now. Well, that would have been a banger trade outside of that wick, which killed a lot of people. I remember that specifically because I had marked it out as a possible, and then I waited for this 1 minute and come back up through. Because what I like to do is I like to wait for the reaction off of the fair value. I like to wait for the reaction off the fair value gap. So if it does this, I'm not caught in it, and then I'll mark it in. But who knows what I would have done? So you're there, 21st. One of those grind days, no trade. Maybe we're if you think it's still going to go up, actually, I think I took this one. So I'm going to say yes trade because I think I did take, I 100% took this one. I remember this one. I took it off this fair value gap. Actually, I waited for it to come up and then got in on this candle. I don't know. Something. Not much. Not as much as I could have. So where would we put this? This left, it's going. It's gone. It's not coming back here. And that's why I jumped in this. It's not coming back. It's just going to grind. Again, all-time highs. It makes it really hard to like, what's your target? Like we can know where a stop loss is, but where's the target? Stop loss. So tight, so tiny. Tiny stop loss. Don't mind that at all. 34 ticks. Beautiful stop loss. What are you doing with it though? Gonna take it and start trailing it? Where are we going? It's go what's the date? The 21st. Go to the 15 on the 21st. Like yeah, we could aim for that high there. That would have been aggressive though. No, we were already there. We were already broken through it. Where are we going? That's what makes trading an all-time high pretty hard. I guess we pulled on fibs. Right, right. Daddy T, we pull fibs on this one. So let's just for this one all-time high, let's I don't know. I don't like it, but I took it. I, I just took the next candle, basically. Let's just make it 2 to 1 R. See, this is where you want to start trailing, right? Because if you take it here, that made a nice, beautiful swing low, right? Boom, immediately move your stop loss to break even. That's a swing low that shouldn't be taken. This propels through that high, leaves that candle. Now trail your stop to that candle right there. It's not a swing low, but you're protecting that. You already made your 2 to 1 R, right? That low. Then you, then a lot of people say wait for another swing low, right? But do you really want to give up another 60 ticks? I don't know if I do. But if you do the swing low technique, right, which is what people do, they put their stop losses at the next swing lows. Here, I would consider this a breakaway gap, so immediately move. Immediately either move your stop loss to break even or there because this is going to be a breakaway gap like it is. Once it breaks that, it should break away. If it comes back down in, there's more likelihood it's going to come all the way back down. But it doesn't. Comes down a little bit, then takes off. So you wait for that fair value gap to form. So you just got to wait 1 minute. Move to break even once this propels, and then move it to here once that gap's formed because now that's most likely going to be a breakaway gap. Then I suppose you could wait for the next swing low. I don't have the patience. God bless those traders that do. Now this created a swing low, right? But are you look at how far up it is, and now you're just pulling it freaking bringing it to here again. Probably another breakaway gap, right? Put it up here. That's where you're gonna take your profit. So if you trailed it that way, you got stopped out up here, but that was 247 ticks. But I'm gonna mark it as a 2 to 1 with a possibility of um, 7 to 1. 34 stop loss. Um, 70 TP. Max TP would have been 247. 247. Trail off BFFG and swing lows. Swings. What's going to kind of amaze you guys is once I show the spreadsheet, you'll see how few trades you have to take to make a lot of fucking money. And that's why I'm doing this because I'm trying to remind myself of the exact same thing. 22nd. Wait, what do we got? I remember this one because I tried to get in it and it did not touch me. We got this. I have to tell myself this is going to be breakaway. Get in on this fair value gap, right? If you get in on this fair value gap like I should have, I put my put my order in here at this fair value gap and my stop is here because I've been trying to avoid the risk of having taking this one and putting my stop all the way the fuck up here, right? Because that's like if I did that, that's like freaking especially here. This is 200 ticks. That's aggressive. So I'm gonna say no trade on this one, although this was the trade. I'll go over that in a second. I'm gonna write in my notes what day is this? This is the 22nd. 22nd no trade. Oh, that's enough this friggin' thing. So I'm gonna say no trade because it never hit the fair value gap again. That's what we're looking at. But again, let's look at the next option. Breakaway gap into this fair value gap that was created here. If this is truly a breakaway gap, right? Then you can put it on there. The 120. Jesus Christ. I have to really size down for it. 120. And then this is the 22nd. 15. Where are you going? This gap. 100% that gap. I think that's where that is right there. And then you might just start to trail it, right? Same concept here. Made that swing high. Now you could trail it. Once it made that swing high, some people would like to do this. Boom. Now you've cut your risk. Your risk was up here. Now it's here. Now that that now that this is a breakaway gap, whoops, you can trail it. Okay, let's get you out of the way. You can trail it here and then wait for it to make it swing low. You're probably gonna get stopped out here if you're trailing it because it came back up into this gap. So I'd keep it here until this gap is played, right? Because this is the breakaway gap. This gap's going to get touched, but how much is that gap going to get touched? You want this to be protected, fair value gap, because if it trades back up into it, it might. It might. So now you're at a free trade anyway here. Wait for the next swing high. Trade it here. That barely didn't make a gap. I probably would trail it there. I probably would have been out already though. That was the next trail spots. All of these gaps, right? That gap, that's probably going to be a breakaway gap. It's so protected. You can drill down to here. We're in that 15-minute gap now. Really good to trail at every candle, but there's really no good trailing spots there. So you have to look for another spot on the 15. But that did work out. Anyways, you got 56 ticks out of that with so actually no, you got more than that. 200. You got 224 ticks the for 75, 3 to 1. Great trade. This is the banger that I would have caught because I think I did have it marked out here. See, that's 700 and 751 ticks. Crazy. I'm deleting everything. 23rd, 22nd, no trade. I gotta put 22nd, no trade. No trade, but remind myself, look for break out gaps and enter on second gap. Oh, this looks fun, huh? Now, this is a funny one. I can't remember what to do with this one, to be honest with you. Okay, this is a red candle, right? Doesn't look like it should be red, right? But it is because what happened was Price closed here and opened up here. And I can't remember what to do with this, so I don't know what to do. And then what I don't like here is, right, it's like, no, that's not even a fair value gap. It might be, no, it's not. Where is the first presented fair value gap? It's actually right here, right? But you're so far already. You're so far already in this. You have to put your stop down here. There's no way I'm taking this. I'm not taking that. So 25, no trade. No, 23. How much to talk about here? It's all garbage. 24. No, no gap, no trade. I forgot to mark out all the ones with no gaps, but I have no trade, so on them, so close enough. Yeah, that's one. No trade here either. This is what this has been doing at open. It either runs unbelievably or does not. I'd be looking for a short here. Actually, I was looking for this long. I can't remember off what. I caught some of it on the way up. This was Friday. Oh yeah, I scalped it a couple times on the way up. And I think this is the one that Daddy T hit big time with his Fibberoonies. We both had this area and we were hunting it. But there's no trade off the first presented fair value gap because it already hit. Already hit. So now you're looking for this to take out liquidity, inverse this, get in on the inverse, which would be here. This is a unicorn. This is 100% a unicorn. You got an order block here. Depends on how you want to do it. Some people do the whole freaking thing. So you gotta trade it higher, trade it lower, created a fair value gap within the breaker. I meant, yeah, within the breaker. Create a fair value gap, trade it back to it, and bam. State of delivery was changed here. You can get in on this right off that. Support and resistance, right? Change of delivery, support and resistance, same freaking thing. This was resistance. Now it's support. And I caught that one, and I caught this one, or something like that, or this one here. But this is no trade for the week opening gap. 25th, no trade. Okay, so during the month, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 trading days. We had 20 trading days. Does not need to be this big. We had 20 trading days. We had um, wins. We had one, two, three, four wins. Four wins equals how many ticks? 123 plus 201 plus 113 plus 70. 500 and 507 ticks. 500. This is the small ones. 507 first TP. I'll do one TP. And then for max TP with trailing or other interest points, right? So I have 1, 2, 3 plus 281 plus 113 plus 247 equals 764 ticks. There's my problem right there is that I don't let it run for those 764 ticks. Okay, and then we had losers of 1 for 67 ticks. Total 507 minus 67, 440 to 764 minus 67, 697. So just playing this, which was a very, very bad month. I mean, how many total trades? It's total equals 5. That's horrible. It's usually way more than that. So one contract, just plain one contract equals how much in profit? 440 times 5, 220. I'm at 2,200 to 697 times 5, 3,485. On like the worst fucking month you can imagine for this strategy. Not bad. Let's do it this way. After full, 1 TP for first TP. Okay, and that's it. I want to ask me any questions in the group. If you do watch this, I don't suggest anyone watch this because it was extremely boring and not much there. Um, okay, thanks for those who watched.